Jam ain't had enough time out here for them to get that type of bond with Jam. So put it on Jam. Or Jam a snitch. Have that shit been put out yet? That it was a wire warrant in the case? Have the documents, the black and white, say that someone with a wire?
Jam, I don't think Jam. If Jam was gonna snitch, he'd have been snitched on a lot of shit a long time ago. Jam's done a lot of time in jail. Like Jam, real nigga. Like I tip my hat to him. I ain't never seen Jam do no bitch ass shit. So when they started saying his name, I was the first nigga probably like, I don't believe that. I got to see proof.
By now, everyone see what's going on with this whole OTF trial considering Durk, and as the trial date is scheduled for tomorrow, there's been a lot of information leaked by the government. Everyone went from saying there's hope to suddenly now, people are scratching their heads after learning more of what the government actually has. Now they are said to have 35 witnesses, and as I told y'all before, it really only takes one to do the damage. And now we've learned that close OTF affiliate OTF Jam will be put on the stand to testify on not only information pertaining to the situation at hand, but he went as far as even throwing himself under the bus, admitting that there are bodies that he caught all for the sake of Little Durk and OTF. And he's willing to even speak on the bodies that the feds don't even know about. Sheesh. And we also learned that OTF Vonnie is officially testifying as well due to the description of whoever PW2 is, where social media have already concurred that it's OTF Vonnie. They say PW2 was in videos with King Von and Little Durk as they bought jewelry from Icebox, and that was the easiest giveaway because there's multiple videos of Vonnie with Von and Durk all on YouTube as they attended Icebox. So we were going to use this video to point out the obvious reasons as to how we knew OTF Jam was going to cooperate before it became official, and also the people who thought he wasn't. Shout out to 1090 Jake who did a good job at doing just that in this video. So let's get into it, y'all. I'm gonna leave a link pinned in the comments to the original video so you guys can support, but in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Hold up, y'all. There's no way you're watching this video for free right now, where you could be getting paid literally just for playing games while this video play in the background at the same time. Only difference is the increase in your bank account. Now, I'm not saying you'll get rich, but I am saying that you could easily make something while doing nothing except for sitting on the couch playing games if you download the app Free Cash. Tap or click the link I pinned in the comment section or scan the QR code that I put right here on the screen. Also, if you use my link right now, they give you a little something to start off with just for signing up. So if you want a little Uber Eats or something to snack on and don't feel like dipping into your own wallet, play a few games so you don't have to spend your own ends. Now let's get back to the video.
Oh, y'all thought things couldn't get any worse? Prosecutors claim OTF Jam will testify that Lil Durk took him to the bathroom and told him to stop committing so many murders. OTF Jam is confirmed as prosecution witness number 1. Today at the federal courthouse following Lil Durk's hearing, it was revealed that prosecution witness number 1 is OTF Jam, who is one of the most talked about alleged cooperators connected to the case. And not just because he's snitching on Lil Durk, but because he is allegedly, and it's about to be confirmed, a whole hitman.
And once again, he admitted it himself. It's not like the government had to prove it. It's not like they had to get witnesses or do any of that. He himself voluntarily said, listen, I caught bodies for them. I did this for them. So it's deeper than just Little Pab. He's just going and letting it all hang out. Pause.
In these Chicago streets.
I'm here at the federal courthouse after the Lil Durk hearing, and we just had some very interesting information about, possibly the most well-known alleged cooperator in this case, OTF Jam. Now, there was a crazy back and forth where they brought up a bunch of things about Jam. They said that the song Back Again was going to be used, and I'm not going to lie, I was happy to hear that because that's like one of my favorite songs.
Facts. Before I let him finish, let's see why.
See, I think this is where the culture shock come in, y'all. Because when I first heard that, I said, what do you mean? Right? What do you mean you're happy that they're using that song? Well, 1090 Jake just said facts. Like, he agrees with that. Do they not know that that song could potentially help put this man away? Like, if y'all like this man, if y'all like his music, why are y'all cool that that song is being used? If anything, you'd be like, damn, I like that song. But now I don't know if I can listen to it because they're using it to convict him. But it's kind of weird that they're cool with the fact that they're using that song. They're like, yeah, well, I like it. They're using it.
Back again would be used. Blast ass. I don't even ask when it comes to cash. They catch him blast ass. Jam, get out that jam. I gave him 50 and gotta ask again. He was catching murders way back then. That's when the max was in. Let's break this down, right? Now, allegedly, blast ass. I don't even ask when it comes to cash. They catch him blast ass. Yeah, this crazy. Is supposed to be in reference to none other than FBG Cash, who was very close with FBG Duck and all of the guys associated with that side. Cash was one of the last to die. One of the last things he did was take a picture at King Von's mural right outside of O Block, putting on Instagram, "Whole world witness your main sniper get his splack." And I mean, not long after this, Cash got killed, and the photos came out of him laying there stiff. It's just a recurring event. Someone mocks the dead and then joins them.
And that's a fact. I don't know what it is or what it's going to take for these guys to realize that you don't diss the deceased. And we have seen examples over and over, time after time, where these guys who thought they was big and bad and tough enough to diss the deceased, and shortly after, they was going just like them. But aside from that, right, this all stems from also when Durk did that video, and he would say, you know, you gonna end up by that tree. And then Mooney Mo came and said, you know that we did it. Keep in mind, OTF Jam was there as well, and that's when he was holding the stack of money in his hand. Now, they said that he's going to be testifying about things like that, and further say that when y'all seen us in the picture with that money, he gave them to his shooters. Now, is this FBG Cash situation going to be brought up? Is he going to tell more details about that? Who knows? But it's about to get crazy.
So allegedly, this was about cash. I don't even ask when it comes to cash. They catch him blasted. And how I would break that down is, it's not even a question. If you see him, kill him. Jam, get out that jam. I gave him 50, ain't gotta ask again. He was catching murders way back then. That's when the max was in. Now, this is a throwback story post of Lil Durk saying, Jam, where you at? Apparently, Durk gave OTF Jam 50,000 in cash after he came home.
The streets. I'm talking about blood, like,
There you go.
shake. Real family, though.
You got that.
Real members only.
Get out that jam and give him 50, he ain't gotta ask again, bro. Fact. I love both of them. This shit forever.
And then obviously saying that Jam was catching murders way back when the max was in. I mean, this is like back in the day. So he's basically alleging that OTF Jam is an old hitter, been a hitter. Jam said he loved Durk for giving him 50K when he got out. Well, we're gonna see how much he loves Durk inside of this federal courtroom, because now apparently he's gonna testify and say it all.
Now, to be honest with you, something had to transpire behind the scenes. It could be one of two things. Maybe he just feel that he's cooked and he's doing any and everything to get out. Or maybe there's something that happened behind the scenes that we don't know about, but these guys been probably into it, and now we just now seeing because he's willing to testify. But maybe we don't know that it been some type of quarrels or beef between these guys behind the scenes, and they probably wasn't messing with each other since then. It's just now coming out that we know OTF Jam supposed to be affiliated with these guys, but now he's snitching. But he's probably like, well, we been not really messing with each other, because if y'all remember, he was throwing subliminals online before. So I don't know, but one thing I could say, when people's freedom is at stake, they're liable to say or do anything.
Obviously, you know, in that song, he talks about, you know, Jam got out that jam, I gave him 50,000, he ain't got to ask again. Well, they're basically saying that Jam is going to testify and cooperate and say that that 50,000 that Durk gave him, that he rapped about him back again, which, bear in mind, was made before King Von even died. But Jam is going to testify and say that he believes that he was given that money basically as like a, you know, as a show of loyalty to basically kind of get, you know, some kind of like future, as basically not like a prepayment, but basically like on the hopes that in future he might be able to do things for him, he might be able to slide for him. Now what's crazy is that he's allegedly gonna testify that actually when they were filming a music video, at some point, okay, this is absolutely crazy, at some point, all right, Durk and a bunch of the other members apparently confronted Jam in a bathroom. They took him into the bathroom, which is super weird, and they apparently confronted him, and they basically said, you moving too hot, you're gonna get us jammed up, you got to be more careful about committing murders, and you're going to get the feds on us. Now apparently that wasn't talking about the pab murder. Apparently there's other murders, and it sounds like he's actually going to admit to the feds that he was doing all kinds of murders that haven't even been prosecuted by the sounds of it, not even related to this murder, and that he was basically a top hitter in OTF and for the Black Disciples, and that it was really that serious, and Jam was doing all that. So Jam's name came up a couple times.
Now, Trench's news, love him or hate him, from what I remember, it came out that he was like a paid informant from Chicago, and he was really around a lot of people, you know, famous people in the drill music scene. But he's saying FBG Cash was shot and killed for Lil Durk by OTF Jam, which is crazy, because that means the same person testifying against Durk was literally the same one that took out Cash, and then Durk literally put it in a song.
Now, not to mention, also, it's going to be hard to say that this man is lying when he can prove that everything he's saying he was at least present for, right? So we see that Durk put him in a song. That's one. Then we see that he put in a story, come get this $50,000. Then we see these guys together where it looks like money is being distributed by Little Durk. And you have Jam saying, well, yeah, it was. And it was going to his shooters for crimes that we committed or whatever bodies that we caught. And we know that these guys had a long lasting relationship. So at the end of the day, it's like, could he be lying? Yeah. But they might lean more towards him telling the truth, being that this man was actually there. At least that's how a YT jury would see it.
And this is the thing about these killer snitches, right? Is just because they're snitching, it doesn't mean they're not a killer. OTF Jam, the alleged informant in Chicago rapper Lil Durk's murder for hire case, is out of jail on house arrest and daring anyone to come try him. Now, this is a story post that he put to his own Instagram, dropping an address. And he would say 30 this for, and anybody else that feel like they like that, I'm doing something Sammy the Bull didn't do. I'm dropping my own location, fresh out on house arrest. I'm trying to see who trying to get it in blood. It was a whole lot of woofing when I was in jail. Now it's time to show and prove. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Sammy the Bull was basically John Gotti's hitman. He caught like 17 and 19 murders, snitched on John Gotti, and then barely did any time for any of the murders, right? So Jam is comparing himself to Sammy the Bull. It's crazy.
Well, that's how we knew that he was telling, right? Because when he put that post up, at the time, everybody was like, yeah, they're saying that he's snitching. We don't know, right? It's all hearsay. We seen people put up little rat emojis and say little funny things online. However, when he said himself out his own mouth, I'm out of jail and I'm doing something that Sammy the Bull never did, well, why else would you compare yourself to a known rat? Right? What are you trying to say? So at the end of the day, he kind of put the narrative out there himself, or at least confirmed it, that he was in fact snitching. But at that point, he's saying he don't care. And what y'all got to remember is he's showing his address, telling people to pull up. At that point, if he cooperated, he don't care, right? He already threw all the morals, values, and principles out the window. So what is it for somebody to do something to him? Why would he care, right? And y'all also got to remember, like he said, just because he's a snitch don't mean that he's a sucker. You got some guys that actually took lives and they will call the police on you. You got guys that snitched, but yet they still did evil things to people. Look at Alpo, right? Everybody say all this about Alpo. Oh, he's a rat. He's a snitch. When he came home, them same people, when he seen them, they did not have that energy. You know what he made them do? He made them take pictures with him with his arm around her. Crazy.
Because we got some people from Chicago speaking out. 600 Breezy, I know Jam. If he was going to snitch, he would have snitched a long time ago.
At first there was like OTF Jam, OTF Jam, and then you stopped hearing his name.
I know Jam personally.
Oh, really?
Like,
okay.
Personally. So, my mom's side, that St. Knife Evans, St. Lawrence, all that, Evans Mob, his squad, that where Jam is from, he would be considered my op, but he's not because of my other people. Because he's from 79th and Vernon. Jam, I don't think Jam. If Jam was gonna snitch, he'd have been snitched on a long time ago. Jam's done a lot of time in jail. Like Jam, real nigga. Like I tilt my hat to him. I ain't never seen Jam do no. So when they started saying his name, I was the first nigga probably like, I don't believe that. I got to see proof.
Another one.
Now that's what people don't understand. Yeah, he probably kept it solid in the past. Yeah, he probably kept it solid before, but things change. People change. Not to mention, when your freedom is at stake, that's a whole different ball game. Now, it's different from doing a little year or 2, 3, 5, maybe even 10 years. But when the people come and they tell you, listen, there's no way in hell you're going home unless you cooperate. Or they tell you, yo, listen, you're looking at 30 years, right? We know you did X, Y, and Z, we got this. But all we need you to do is cooperate and we cut you some slack. The toughest guy will break, as we've seen throughout history. So I don't know why this is any type of surprising to anybody, because it happens. It's just the fact that some people feel that it can't happen to the people that they know or idolize.
This is how I know Jam didn't snitch on Lil Durk. I don't believe it 100%.
Mention to him, Jam ain't had enough time out here for them to get that type of bond with Jam. So put it on Jam. Our Jam a snitch. Have that shit been put out yet? That it was a wire warrant in the case? Have the documents, the black and white, say that someone with a wire?
No, we have to check cases.com.
No, wait, hold on. They say they got audio recordings, video recordings.
But how you know they will say 100%. They will tell you wiretap.
Let me finish. I don't think they're being actually specific of who and what, but they are saying that they got audio.
But they will tell you 100% that it's wiretap.
Now here's the
Now here's what Mimo. I'm pretty sure Mimo done been through the jail system, so he kind of has an understanding. As y'all see, that was 11 months ago. So this was fairly new. It wasn't nowhere near the trial date. What the feds do is they wait. They can't expose their whole hand. As y'all seen, they had everybody fooled thinking all they had first initially was song lyrics, videos, and social media stuff. Fast forward to now, as y'all seen, like they did say, you have Jam as one of the star witnesses and possibly OTF Varney as well. So they're not going to show their whole hand. They're not going to reveal it all. So don't think just because they didn't say it that they don't have it.
Thing, right? Regardless of anyone's personal opinion, Jam might have been a stone cold killer and no one thought he was going to snitch, whatever. They're saying in court they've identified him as the prosecutor's witness number 1 and he's going to testify. And the thing is this, if Jam sat down with the feds, right, and he's talking to the feds and he's going to give them information and he's going to be talking about all of these things. I've never been in any federal situation, knock on wood, I don't ever want to. But from what I understand, he can't just tell about this. He has to tell about everything. Now, this is Gene Borello. He was an associate of, I believe, the Bonanno crime family, the mafia, and he cooperated, went against them.
Oh, I forgot about Gene Borello, right? This was like an Alpo times 10. This man was actually a hitman that cooperated. And he got no problem telling you. And to this day, he still let it be known, like, yeah, I snitched, I cooperated, but I'm still on that type of time and it'll still get like that. Like I said, these are the guys that, yeah, they told or whatever they did, but you still can't play with them.
But he's going to break down how when you snitch, when you cooperate with the federal government, you can't just tell on one thing, because they're talking about a different mob guy in this video. And he's saying you can't just snitch on that. You have to tell them every single crime you've ever committed. So when they give you a pass, the pass is for every single crime you've ever committed. But if you didn't tell them something and it isn't documented, that's gonna
No, but the thing with this is, and you know, like I said, I'm fair. I just keep it real. You can't sit with the government and just cooperate on that, especially when he has all that stuff in his past. So like when you sit down with them, they're not worried about you cooperating against those guys. They're gonna want also mafia stuff. So if he did sit with the government, with the agents, he's gonna have to tell them everything he's done in his life. That's just part of the deal. So he has to admit to everything he's done. They're not gonna just let you sit there and talk about whatever he's saying. They're gonna ask for everything you've done since you're 5 years old. That's the way it works. So when you do agree to a proffer, you have to admit to everything you've ever done in your life. That's the only thing where that's getting mixed up, you know?
So from my understanding, Jam is gonna have to sit down, or probably already has sat down with the feds and explain to them every single murder he's committed. And so he can't just be like, oh, Durk this, Durk that. No, he has to explain everything he's done, which is gonna more so prove how dangerous he is. And then he's gonna drop, yeah, this is why Durk was shouting me out. This is why Durk gave me money. This is what Durk sent me to go do. This is dangerous.
There was more to the video, but towards the end, these are things that we already spoke about. He's gonna talk about 6ix9ine and the Whack 100 thing. We already told y'all that the courts is gonna use that as motive to say this is why he felt even more pressure to slide for Vaughn, because they was basically trolling him. And one of the witnesses, which I'm sure is Jam or allegedly, we don't know, but one of the witnesses are cooperating and saying that Durk did in fact see that, and it did pressure him or make him feel a type of way. So that's just them setting the stage, saying that yeah, he's seen it, he probably felt the type of way, and him being trolled made him actually want to go slide. So it's a lot going on, y'all. I just wanted to put this out there so y'all can see for yourselves that it was more leading up to this whole situation that we see now. We already kind of know that Jam was cooperating. It's common sense. As far as Varney, it's also common sense, but I guess we gotta wait because it seemed like he's probably gonna be the all-star witness. He was a little more involved, and with his testimony and what he gotta say, it's gonna be a lot. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see, but in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content, and remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. I'm out.